Hey there, geographers. This is Angela, and welcome to the month of May. Can you believe it? Wow, May 1st. Here we go. So, when you come onto our Moodle site, you'll notice here's our landing page. Here's still that welcome message. And when you scroll down, remember there are helpful links here as well. One of them being how to contact Angela. And if you click on it, you're going to notice that there is this additional method of contacting me. And it's this really cool app called the Remind app, and it's specifically designed for direct contact using text. That way, it protects your phone number, my phone number, but we still get to text each other, which is really cool, and yet another accessible way for you and I to reach out and contact one another. It's different than email. And so it's like this direct message between you and I. And I really enjoy using it and connecting with students in this method. So I encourage you, when you go on to Remind, you literally just add in this specific little code here, and then you and I can text one another. It's really awesome. Another resource that I want to make sure that you guys know about that I added is how Angela reads. So this is a video demonstrating to you how I read. Now, how I read is not going to be how you read, or not how every single human being reads. And this is a good thing. The reason why I show you how I read is because many of us will find it a non-traditional style of reading. And I also want my students to know that that's okay. Encouraging you to determine how you read. It's very important because it will only increase your success in school, learning, and for the rest of your life. Because for the rest of our life, we will be learning. Maybe not in school, but maybe in some other form or fashion. All right, next it brings us to our module overview. This is module overview for module 5. And this module runs from today, May 1st, which is a Monday, to May 7th, which is a Sunday. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what we're learning about this week. This week, we're learning about migration, the migration of human beings. What does that mean? Basically means the movement of people. Why people move, where they move, how they move, their motivations to move, because people have moved throughout time in different ways. Some were voluntary, some were forced, and some were, let's be honest, optional. Here is some resource material if you'd like to learn a little bit more about migration. It's important to remember that people are migrating all across the world. Many times you and I are familiar with the migration that we experience at the border between the United States and Mexico. This at times can be a very contentious issue. It's important to learn that there are migration movements beyond our own viewpoint. There are huge migrations happening from the African continent also to the European continent. This is what you're looking at as a photo of men from Northern Africa. Many people use Northern Africa as a pathway into Europe. So it's important for us to learn about the different migrations that are happening globally. What are these patterns? Why are they important? And what's going on in our human history right now? And how we're going to connect with that a little bit closer is through a discussion. This discussion is called Stories of Migration. And they are stories. And these stories are important. They are vital. And this is the opportunity for you to connect with someone who has migrated. This migration might be an international migration. It might be a migration from, let's say, for example, from the countryside to the city, or from the city to the countryside. This migration might also include moving from, let's say, the east coast of the United States to the west coast, or vice versa. The United States is a nation built on the stories of people and movement. All these stories are dynamic. And so, in this week's discussion, you are going to document two stories of movement. So, you're going to interview two people. Please do not use their names, their real names. And you're going to click on this link, and the questions that you will ask them are here. If you would like to add or change some of the questions on this document and amend your interview a little bit, I'd like to give you the opportunity to do that. So, from coworkers, neighbors, friends, or family members, please ask them the questions on this prompt. You are going to post these interviews. Make sure you do not include their names on the discussion board, and please include a map of where they were born and where they're from. Remember, these stories can be international or from within the United States as well. If you would like to know how you get assessed on these discussions, there is a link to that opportunity. This empowers you to know how you're being graded and what sort of work you can turn in. Now, when it comes to our discussions, your initial posts are always going to be due on a Thursday. You'll say, why do we do this? The reason why they're due on a Thursday is to give everyone the opportunity to respond to your posts. So by Sunday, please respond to a minimum of 2 of your classmates. Remember, you can do this in written form, in audio form, or in video form. So you don't always need to be writing. Now, the other assignment we have this week is, as we always do every week, we have a reflection assignment and we have either 1 to 4 key issues. This week we have 3 key issues. These key issues are centered around migration. This chapter you will find in chapter 3. The first key issue is letting us know that migrants are distributed in different places around the world. And so you're going to be answering these questions here. In key issue 2, it states people migrate. That's a fact. So let's figure out why. There are 2 videos here, video 1 and video 2, that are going to highlight the global phenomenon within migration. Why are people migrating? So here are 2 videos here, and here's video 2 that you will watch. After you watch those 2 videos, please answer the following questions. The main language you will hear in the second video is French, but there are translations and subtitles. Then we come to key issue 3. It states, when you graduate from school, do you expect to undertake international or internal migration? And if you will migrate internally, which is inside the United States, will it be interregional, which means within the United States, or will it be intra-regional within Oregon? And why? Tell us why. Explain these factors in terms of push and pull. So, are you going to be pulled toward a particular location, or are you going to be pushed? Explain what interregional migration is. Well, an interregional means within the United States. And what is intra-regional migration? Well, intra-regional means within Oregon. And name an example. So that brings us to the conclusion of everything you will be doing this week in cultural geography. And remember, if you ever need anything at all, never, never, never hesitate to reach out to me. I'm on campus in office hours every Wednesday. Let me know how I can connect with you. Download the Remind app. Send me a message. I answer it all throughout the day. And I look forward to hearing from you, meeting you, and I hope you have a great week.